A moment, true soul. You use a spoon to stir the soup, Barnabas. Forget the axe, my darling. Now, how can I help you? I've shown Barnabas a kinder way. A kinder name is only fitting. That is the gift the Absolute gave me when I stood before her. To rewrite the lives of her faithful. Make them believe there's something better. She gathers many threads for her design, but it is still her design. And Barnabas has found his place in it. Observe. Barnabas, sweetie, come show what a good boy you are. What would you like him to do? The prayer, I think. Barnabas struggles with civilized speech, but he's been practicing.
You feel her will surge outwards and envelop the creature, inexorable as the tide.
No, Barnabas! We talked about this.
The weight of the assault drives the gnoll to his knees, defiance melting away like snow in summer.
For all the power she lends us, I am still only an imperfect vessel. Here, I meant this as a treat for Barnabas, but he doesn't deserve it now. You'll do well when you meet the Absolute, I think. Please, Zevlor, and you will be called to ascend to the tower top. Many have gone before you, though not all have returned. Absolute was giving you
The feline eyes the parasite with a glint in her eye, intent clear. Murder. Glorious murder. The cat ignores you, but her eyes stray to a small tunnel hidden in the wall. The message is clear. Stay if you wish, but she will flee at a moment's notice. The cat pays you little attention, so focused is it on the hunt.
I am loath to see anyone behind bars. It reminds me of my time as a guest of the goblins.
That reminds me. How in the nine hells could goblins capture a chap as well-muscled as you?
Poor choice of companions for what? Besides,
Don't get too close to the prisoners. They're desperate enough to try anything.
All's well here. The cargo from below has already been taken to the docks.
Oh no. The cult got inside your head too.
Your conversation has been cut short. These prisoners are for Disciple Balthazar's attention only. Your association with Disciple Balthazar inspires respect and a touch of fear. You are free to speak to the prisoners.
The gnomes. Speak to the gnomes. The gnomes. Speak to the gnomes.
You ordered that guard about as if you were the Absolute herself. What do you want with us, exactly? Huh. And why would you be so inclined? Those Spitfires? Well, they certainly gave the guards a run for their money. And they'd be a help in the escape. I reckon you and I were meant to meet. I'm Wulbren. All that matters is how we're gonna get out. Us and the Tieflings both. An iron hand leaves no one behind. We need tools. That head case of a warden robbed ours, but anything that breaks rock will do. Even if it's not Iron Hand quality. Whatever you find, throw it through the bars. But for the love of Gerdor, make sure a guard doesn't see you, or we're both done for. Stone. I feel it.
The gnomes. Speak to the gnomes.
Last copper. There's a pier.
Don't speak to the prisoners. The Absolute forbids it.
spark of the familiar. Do I know you, true soul? Perhaps not. Your face is rather bland. Regardless, know this. I am the Warden. The prisoners are my charges, and I answer to Disciple Balthazar himself. Stay on my good side. Indeed. But all are kept out of reach and under constant surveillance in the office above. Prison security is my highest priority. Anyone who refutes the Absolute is an enemy of mine, true soul. You would do well to remember that. He sounds important, and I'm afraid the mere dregs are the only ones left in my care. A pity you're already failing, then. My face might be bland, but yours? It is now carved into my memory, forever. My, they are letting all sorts become a true soul these days. He is chief advisor to General Ketherick, and one of the Absolute's favored. His necromancy is second only to the General's. It is an honor to serve him.
It's only a matter of time. Necromancer on the back. This is no good. I need something that can crack stone.
Wonder if the gods are watching me.
Good work. We're gonna wait until it's quiet, and then bust out the back wall. We'll grab the Tieflings along the way. We'll need them if it comes to a fight. You, however, are the clincher. Once we move, keep the patrols busy. If the bastards spot us, all of bloody Moonrise will come down on us. We'll move once it's quiet. Until then, be ready.
Defender of the people.
Let's march! Soldier?
I am ready. I shall go.
You're not welcome in Moonrise, and your presence hasn't gone unnoticed. Time to fight. Or flee.
Attention! Hey!
Enemies about! On my way!
Close ranks.
Foot forward.
Cry about it.
Shield your servant. out of me. I need aid.
Forever dauntless. Fleet of foot.
Gods, it's hot in here. No surrender.
I must make it to Baldur's Gate. I must.
Keep going.
Moving to position.
No time to waste.
Put him up. Incoming.
No holding back. Making my move.
Still alive. So that's progress. Light on my feet. Moving.
Ready for another round? Got it.
These boots have seen everything.
Coming through. wish to live in more interesting times. One day I'll catch a break.
There we go.
What to do? Don't waste a step.
There I shall be.
Have a lot on my mind. Well, in it.
boat is tied up tight. Boat's good to go. All that's left is to ship off. My plan for now is to hide out on the water. Unless you have a better idea. Something survived in this hellscape. You should have led with that. See you there.
2 steps at a time.
Soldier, what next? On it.
Slow down.
to know about supplies.
It should just about do.
Just about?
Just about. Shouldn't hang around too long, though.
Love this is heavy. Can't sleep, so I might as well hammer. Need anything?
Before.
We're still alive, Bran. That's worth a cheer at the very least.
Ketheric's lackeys found me already. Blast it all! You need to deal with him.
Ketheric's forces are infiltrating this place. You've got to take the fight to them.
Good work rooting out the traitor.
You're here! You're all right! How?
We're two Tiefling queens, remember? I couldn't leave my favorite bard without her partner in crime. I did have some help from an old friend, though.
How did you do it? If it was anyone else, I'd be skeptical. But you've more than earned the title.
You should have seen him. He was brave, but also terrifying. In a good way.
I never thought I'd see, well, anyone again. Thank you. 1,000 times, thank you. One last favor. Take this off my hands. It suits you better.
Why are you smiling at me? Uh-huh.
Less than that. Fine.
Trolls report more activity among the cultists this month. Preparing to march, I wager. Seems that way.
The shadows haven't consumed you. Good. Gruesome, isn't it? I'm glad you survived the encounter, at least. Did you learn anything more? Chosen? Oh, that's 3 masters Ketheric has served. Our paladin isn't very picky. He's aligned himself with mind flayers. But I cannot see what he gains. Perhaps we can force it out of him once we have him up against a wall. Was there anything else? The great general is paranoid. Good. That means he's protecting something. I'll wager it's the source of his invulnerability. He'd protect that at any cost. Was there anything else? Then speak. The same way hoppers learn of anything. Poking noses where they don't belong. We sent an agent to infiltrate this cult. The latest fad among the city's bored nobility, I thought. Until that same agent returned and tried to plant a knife in my neck. My first encounter with a true soul. I'm glad ours ended on friendlier terms. From there, I made some inquiries of my own. Saw firsthand how easily the cult could turn friend to foe with but the twist of a tadpole. And so I gathered my harpers and came to the source. Moonrise Towers. Ugh. Some crusty ballad monger, I expect. They have me slaying gods, or laying with them, depending on the bard. It was a lifetime ago. And for all our victories, the world is no more balanced than when we began. We fight, we die, and we just hope that when our time comes, there is someone else to take our place. The songs would have you believe we saved the realm's entire. Perhaps we did. They simply refused to stay saved.
Celebrate when Ketheric's dead. Not before.
I am not scared. I'm neither dead, nor undead, neither alive, nor unliving.
I don't get it.
Thou wilt.
Yes? I would, but you have so many friends already. Excellent. Now that that's settled, lead on.
Do you know what happens when a devil is struck down on this charming plane of existence? It returns to the hells, to the very point where it last stood before venturing to whichever devil-forsaken plane it died on. In the case of our friend Yrgir, the Orthon you so handily dispatched in the Temple of Shah, he manifested in my House of Hope. He returned to me chastened but intact, his wounds healed, his body restored. He thought I would dismember him. But he has his uses, so instead, I am re-educating him.
We delivered the devil. Now I want what I'm owed. We had a deal.
Indeed, we did. I discovered all there is to know about those scars of yours. It's a rather grim tale. Even for my tastes. As you wish. Brace yourself, Astarion. We're about to unveil your destiny. carved into that ivory skin of yours is one part of an infernal contract between the archdevil Mephistopheles and your former master, Cazador Zar. In full, the contract states that Cazador will be granted knowledge of an infernal ritual so vile it has never been performed. The rite of profane ascension. It promises to be a marvelous ceremony, very elaborate, incredibly ancient, and entirely diabolical. If he completes the rite, he will become a new kind of being, the Vampire Ascendant. All the strengths of his vampiric form will be amplified, and alongside them he will enjoy the luxuries of the living. The arousals and appetites of man will return to him, and unlike Astarion, he will have no need of a parasite to protect him from the sun. But the ritual has its price, as all worthwhile things do. Lord Cazador will need to sacrifice a number of souls, including all of his vampiric spawn, if he is to ascend. Imagine how he felt then, when one of those precious spawns simply disappeared into thin air. The only missing ingredient is Astarion. You are the final piece he requires to complete the ritual. Your scars bind you to it. Your soul will set off a very wave of death, bringing Cazador his twisted life. And that, my tragic and toothsome friend, is that. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have business elsewhere.
It's a lot to take in. What do you think I should do? The end of my life amongst them. Just when I was starting to enjoy it. He'll never leave me alone. I didn't think he would when I was just one more wretched toy for him to play with. But if I'm the key to this power he craves, he'll hunt me to the ends of Faerun. I need to take the fight to him. And I need you to help me. Thank you. The way she leered at me. The blood merchant. I can't get it out of my head. It isn't like me. Not like me at all. I was being too precious, wasn't I? We could have used her potion. A moment of unpleasantry doesn't matter if there's a fine reward. I should have just gritted my teeth as always and let her have me for a bit. There's nothing more desirable in the world than a vampire, is there? Having been through all I have, you damn well are going to fight with what few assets the gods give you. But a part of me feels sick when I think about getting on my back for breadcrumbs again. I had nothing at all for so long. Not even my body. That was owned by Cazador. To be sent out to tempt fools into his palace. I have bedded thousands of people. Half of them I barely remember. Most of them didn't even grant me temporary bliss. It should have been so easy to let the drow use me for her fantasy, but perhaps, you showed me I have enough strength. I don't need to. I can stop using myself. Stop being used. It isn't worth the scars anymore.
Can I touch your face?
No.
No. You're no fun.
It seems like Cazador used Astarian's flesh not as a canvas, but as a contract. We haven't heard the last of this, I'll wager. Very serious of you, but go ahead. I won't pretend that I don't know what you mean. Ever since we entered the Shadow Curse, I felt like something's calling to me. Some purpose that I need to find. Give me some time. If I can figure out whatever it is that I need to do, well, then there should be more time for us. A bit crowded, don't you think? You'll need to swap out someone if you want me. Wonderful. I was beginning to feel a little left out.
I can't imagine how Astarian must be feeling. The terms of your own condemnation carved into your skin. Monsters' actions. And monsters do not deserve such power as that ritual promised. When the time comes, Astarian will have his revenge, I'm sure. And it will be richly deserved. But not yet. So, what can I do for you?
In my years as the Blade, I've witnessed countless cruelties, faced unimaginable evil. But Thorm, he is made of pure hate. The Sword Coast will rejoice when the bastard's fallen. My father is somewhere in this tower. I won't leave him in Thorm's hands. And lest we forget, we've a devil to rescue. 2 missions, 1 destination.
Not in a mere prison cell, certainly. My guess, Thorm will have confined him in the bowels of the tower. The deeper we dig, the closer we get.
Oakfather preserve you. I've been unfair to you. I've had unrealistic expectations of your character ever since I joined you. But honestly, you've surpassed even those. Seemed my faith was more than well-founded. It's true, and I can't imagine I helped with that. Sometimes I let the task at hand consume me, and people think I'm obsessed. Trust me, the day I no longer have to talk about the Shadow Curse will be a happy one. What would you like to know? I had a friend when I was young, long ago. He played with me in the forests where I grew up. But eventually, I realized no one else had heard of him. It was Daniel, of course. Nature was my very first friend. I get older, but he hasn't changed a day. I knew then that I had to be more than a companion to him. I had to be a protector. I am? Trust me, it's been said. You show more restraint than most in avoiding the subject until now. Who's to say? Perhaps there's a half-orc buried somewhere in my ancestry. Or perhaps not. Sometimes I think conventional wisdom is too narrow about what someone can or cannot be. Stranger things have most certainly happened. I suppose you wouldn't be shocked to learn I love animals and nature? I know. Well-trodden territory. Well then, let's see. I whittle in my spare time, and I've something of a sweet tooth. Although everyone's very amused when I say I like honey. Ornaments, utensils, and ducks. I like ducks. Thank me by returning the favor, why don't you? Come on. I'm sure you've something better than carving wooden ducks. Oh, well. Your choice, of course. Anytime.
Ketheric's soul still nourishes the shadows. Destroy him, so the land may heal, so that I may heal.
Wish I could say I was surprised about Cazador's pact. Where blood, death, and betrayal parade, you can bet your ass a devil is riding Grand Marshal. We're going to keep Astarion safe. On my life, Cazador won't touch him. You saw the extent of Flo's friendship. She'll lend you a hand, long as she can crush your spirit while she's at it. I knew never to let my guard down around her. She always made me laugh, even when I least wanted to. If she'd been completely different from who she was, we might have been real friends. Nothing worth reading. Cambion manipulation at its most obvious. Thank the gods. And I do, every day.
Hey, where's Mum and Pops? Well, hurry. They've got to be somewhere, and I don't want them worrying. Then I'll teach you to conjure those vines.
Fate spins along as it should. Dost thou require a new ally? Or mayhaps a resurrection instead?